Okay, so here's my favorite websites, video, audio, presentation, whatever. Some 12 to 14 days late because apparently I don't know how to read a calendar. Um, so let's just start here. My favorite websites actually all kind of come through this wonderful little module known as Twitter. And I got turned on to Twitter about 2.5 years ago. It's really the only social media tool that I use. And I was a big fan of Delicious and social bookmarking, but then I kind of fell away from that when I found Twitter because then I can just favorite things. I never did figure out how to take all of my Twitter links that I would favorite or that I would retweet and stuff them into Delicious, but it's just as easy to go back through my history and try and figure out what's going on. So here's my Twitter page. I am at Tom Domzalski, real original, I know. And the guy that turned me on to this was Jeremy Bruick. I blame him. He is a education consultant and a professor of education at the University of Akron. He specializes in media literacies and he deals a lot with the K4 environment. Jeremy did some presentations with the Diocese of Cleveland when I was still working at St. Peter Chanel 2 or 3 years ago now. And a lot of my followers have just came from stuff that he has posted out on Twitter or things that I saw in presentations that he did. I'm only really going to these websites because I need to have something visual that goes along with this. Normally I just follow these guys' Twitter feeds and then kind of pick at random what we're doing. But Jeremy has decent stuff. Another one of my favorite followers is Kathy Schrock. Kathy, if you're anything education technology, you've seen her stuff before, and she's 100% brilliant. How she's not an Apple Distinguished Educator yet, I don't exactly know, but she's really gadget oriented and stuff, and isn't always like ed philosophy type things, but she finds a lot of really cool things, or she'll present out really interesting apps. And like I said, she's part of my Twitter feed as well. Caitlin Tucker, I'm not sure how I found her, but, or maybe it's Catlin Tucker. I assume it's going to be Caitlin. She's got some interesting stuff where she'll post out things that she's been doing more directly into her classroom, whereas Kathy and Jeremy are more consultant based. This guy right here, Richard Byrne, if you haven't seen any of his stuff, you really need to go through it, especially if you are a Google Drive person or a Docs person. He posts out a lot of interesting information about free, open source kind of information. Hello, Cat. Yes, we hear you. All right. And more than anything, this was how I got into using Google Docs really well over the last 3 years, especially the forms side of things. He's very good at creating online quizzes, but just he's an absolute wealth of information, and the stuff under his favorite resources side or his these lists that he has that are in here are just absolutely amazing about stuff. And then the last one, whenever I have to run a meeting, which is about once a week, I will go to this guy's site. This is, I'm going to screw up his last name, it's Neil Parisha. All right, and he does the 1,000 awesome things, and he has a list where he'll throw out something on his Twitter feed about something awesome that's going on in his world. I think the one that I saw, short acceptance speeches. That's something that's just absolutely awesome. So that's one of my favorite websites, Twitter, twitter.com. But it doesn't say enough to say I really like Twitter, but also some of the strange things that I've seen, strange thoughts that I've had, where I'll throw out a tweet. I follow a lot of former students and current students on Twitter, so we keep an active dialogue going. Always try and keep it clean. And the rest of the goodies. So hopefully you enjoy the little video presentation, and eventually I will take this off of my YouTube page because I don't need anybody else to see this. But for the purposes of right now, hope you enjoyed.